Oh,
We are.
hey, welcome to
Cut it.
Cut It Out. Cut is a wrap. I am Antonia,
And
and I'm with my co-host.
oh, Amanda.
Mm-hmm. And we are your host for Cut is a Wrap, which is a podcast just talking about all things Black culture, Black film, just Black entertainment. We are doing our review for Ready to Love season 5. Is it season 5? I
Season
can't
5,
remember. Yeah,
episode.
it's season 5. We are. I'm still invested in this season mainly because it is take place in DC. However, most of them are transplants, but I'm still intrigued, and we are going to get into it. But before we get started on that, if you like what you're hearing and you like what we putting down and you picking it up, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can also hear us on any streaming platforms. Just type in "Cut It's a Wrap" and you can follow us there as well. Okay, we're gonna get right into it.
That was a good.
Um, what you say, him?
That was a good intro.
Thanks. All
Yeah.
right, so I was looking at this show, and in summary, I was like, do they really want to love? Are they really here for love? I'm looking for this show. I'm looking for a balance between love and entertainment, and romance and comedy, like a rom com or a drom com. Like I need a little dramedy too,
I
but a
need
little,
little realness and a little drama as well.
yeah, I need to feel the love. I need
It's
to feel the
love
love.
with the love,
Can you
It's
feel the love tonight?
love.
And we're missing that.
We are.
Like the only part, and we're going to talk about that a little later, but the what I really only felt the connection of like love. I can feel the love. It's not just like a business transaction, like this resume. Are you good for me? Do you like me? Are we're connected? Are you celibate or not? Or do you want kids? That's all I hear. Do you want kids? Do you want kids? The only part when I saw that they were like dating, that I was like, oh, this is what we missed, was
What
with Phil and Sydney when they went on their
I
date.
like that, and I said that's what we've been missing from
That's
the show.
we're lacking the
Dialogue,
dating part
so we can
of this show.
feel the feelings. But
I
anyway,
felt.
but
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was like, I think we'll move. Oh, do you want to start with Phil and Sydney? You going to go back and go forward because they was the last date.
We'll talk about them because that was the highlight of the show for me.
Yeah.
Because that date was refreshing. It was refreshing to see, because the show is called, Ready to Love. So they're trying to, the main concept is for you to date around and see who you connected to, you have chemistry with. Yes, Sydney is dating, or she's talking to Frank, but she also wanted to make another connection too. So she thought Phil was interested, so she wanted to go shoot her shot, and hey, it went into the net. They had so much. It was chemistry, it was connected. I felt like he looked like a little schoolboy, kind of shy, but then kind of intrigued as well.
Mm-hmm.
And Sydney's personality kind of resonated. Like I kind of knew a little more about her. She did seem, I feel like Sydney and Moomin is probably now my favorites, or they feel like they're the ones who are a little more authentic, because Sydney's just going to, she's bubbly, she's refreshing, but she also is going to give you a little more heart, a little more content. And
Um,
you don't agree?
I did like that date between them because that's what the game been missing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it was like, and it's TV, so I'm not gonna say all of it is genuine. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think it was like 100%. Well, no, because Phil is cute, but I don't know if she like was really feeling Phil or she did that because she needed to get that TV time because she didn't get a call. I mean, well, she did go on a date with Frank, But I mean, to get she was on that date with another person, so to get her own camera time and her own, that's, I don't know, that's just my perspective. But I can be wrong. I think she wanted that camera time because she's like, I
Which
I reached out
okay.
to him. Like he wasn't checking for her, but she reached, which I like. I love her slide in the DMs approach. Um, yeah, I think you should always go that way, especially if you feeling him and you're like, okay, excuse me. And he took the, he said yes to the date, and the date turned out great. But I don't know. But I could be wrong. I just don't know if it was that.
Okay. You
But
don't
it
think
was
she's
good TV.
genuine?
It was good TV, and I got all the feels. And
It was.
even if it didn't start off genuine, maybe that wasn't her intention. The date was good. Maybe she wasn't
Yeah.
expecting.
Mhm.
And then another thing, I don't know, because you remember they was like clowning her in the
Oh, at the
living
little gentleman's
last
with
week,
the
talking
women's.
about all the talking about when she made that statement that guys was trying to get to know me. Sabrina made that comment like, "Okay, girl," and they started laughing her
Yeah.
out, and then Zadia tried to buck up and whatever. I think that was a little sneak tip. Sydney coming for Phil or whatever to say, okay, y'all going on this group date and y'all can meet the exes, but I bet you I can get this date with the most popular dude in the camp. I don't know.
Oh, I didn't think about it that way.
I
So
don't know. I watched it 3 times and I was just like, okay, why all of a sudden you're on a date with Phil when everybody has their relationships like locked in to me? And then he even said it came out of left field. Anyway, but I'm a conspiracy theorist, so
okay. I mean, I hear you. I mean, I didn't think about that. Her, trying to get her foot in the door, trying, maybe because it is also a competition. So maybe she's probably, be a little curious to know why all these women, attracted to Phil. Let me
that's
try my hand, you know.
that's true. See what that be like.
I mean, it's also it's still a game show, so let the best woman win. I'm here for it. Phil is also probably one of the best catches here. Phil and Walter is probably still top. Now the women fluctuated with my top people. They're actually fluctuating, but we'll get to our top like at the end. We'll do that later. So let's go back to the first part. First of all, Tommy in the beginning. Tommy, I don't know who his writer is or who his person is, but I was cracking up. I don't know why, but I was cracking up when he was ready to hit these lines. He said, okay. He said, "You only as good as your last game." So introduce your hope to be to your not anymore.
He couldn't wait to bang that. He couldn't wait it. I
I
missed
was ready.
all the
I
time to
said,
do
"Who
it.
is
That's
coming up with
hilarious.
these liners?" I was cracking up.
Yeah.
I
They
was
like,
like, "High five,
Tommy,
Tommy."
I
That
don't
was
know if he
funny.
can use them.
And
Okay.
then he said, and then he said, "Now we gonna get hit with the case of the exes."
That's the name of
I
the
said,
song.
"Okay, Maya." He must have been listening to this one. It's after midnight. But I thought that was funny.
Can't wait to see.
But question, just a question. How do you feel about meeting the exes? Like that part?
I don't like that part of the show of them meeting the ex, especially that soon. I think it's really too soon to meet an ex after you've been dating for like. Actually, I don't think you should meet someone's ex. Period. But I don't know why they had that segment in the show. But fortunately, even though I don't like it, it was the best episode so far because all the other episodes was kind of drawn out, but this one
Mm-hmm.
gave like the most. Like I finally got like people's personalities are starting to be seen more. So that's what I like most about this. But I don't like the X part. Like I think that's stupid. But but it makes for good TV. So
So would you want to meet the ex of the guy that you're dating?
no, I mean. No, unless they she became a part of the, like, that's his baby mother or his ex-wife, and they got kids together. So sure, because she's family. But other than
Mhm.
that, no. Why would
Right.
you?
Not really for what? Pourquoi? Um,
Exactly.
but I did like at the end when the guys were after Tommy left, the guys were a little awkward saying, "Oh, these phone calls going to be awkward." And they left it at that. That was a good time for production. I would really like to see production come in and maybe have those awkward conversations and phone calls to those exes. I would like to hear that transaction. Like, how did that go? Hey, could you meet my ex? Like, just imagine like the intensity and the
I don't know if did they even know that they were meeting an ex, because um like Sabrina came in on the date, she was like befuddled.
no, I'm not talking about the 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 people. I'm not talking about like Sabrina, the people who are on the show. I'm talking about the men calling their ex.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Having a
Okay. Well, I'm gonna
conversation
put
with
a
the
pin
ex.
in that, because I don't like, because the women were caught off guard when they were meeting
Yeah, they
their
were.
date's ex. But to go back to what you were saying, the awkward conversations, that was
That would be
that would be weird.
entertaining to hear. I would like to hear the guys call their exes and say, "Hey, could you meet the girl I'm dating?" and get a feel of it. I would like to know what they said. You know what I mean? What is that initial conversation?
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. Anyway, but yeah, so going back to that, the first
Yeah.
date was Cornelius. He met his ex met Camille. So you said, how do you feel about the off guard thing? So we'll talk about that with Sabrina. But Cornelius met. Hold on, wait. Before we talk about Cornelius, we got to talk about what WTF.
What?
When we looked into Cornelia's house, you did not see
The
that
big
big
freak.
ass picture of
Yeah.
him. It was a 6 feet tall picture of him with some shimmery shit on his face.
Oh yes, it was a huge portrait of his face, his body, with African print sculptures. That was the focal point. They say let's shoot here because we got to get that painting in the back of your body and his face. Hilarious.
They knew what they was doing.
Artist, shouted out that artist.
Shout out to the artist. Okay, but the ex seemed very sweet. She seemed sweet, and she was giving me sister vibes. I felt like that could have been his. I mean, like she seemed like she. I want to know how long they were dating.
Yeah, I'm curious to know about that too, and how long they were dating, and when did they like cut it off officially. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious to know that, because they had a relationship where it was just like, it was friendly. I feel like she
Yeah.
really, really had his back. She wasn't trying to dish no dirt on him. She wasn't trying to throw him under the bus, but she really had his back. And that kind of shows what the kind of person Cornelius is. If because she seems pretty sweet and solid.
Mm-hmm. Do you have anything else to say about her date? I mean, not the date, but the whole.
That whole interaction, I already knew Camille was going to be Camille. So I love how she had a problem with, not a problem, but she brought up her three engage. No. Camille brought up her three engagements, not the not his person. What was her name? I wrote her name down too. Deborah.
I just said the ex.
Oh, I wrote down her name. Anyway, what were you saying?
I have nothing to say. I just felt like she was very protective over Cornelius. She gave him a heads up of beware. Don't just look at the
Mhm.
physical because Camille still, she got body, yada 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 yada.
Yeah.
So, he can be caught up with that. And in her answer seemed a little rehearsed, but she's a professional, so she can get them things off the
Mhm.
dome. Um, yeah, it was cool. She handled it like a G. Camilla's hilarious. She's the most hilarious person on the show. She is so funny because she was like, okay, so when's she leaving? Um, she said she ain't got nowhere to go.
I thought that was hilarious. Because let me tell you, I'm leaving. She need to be
She was
leaving.
like, okay, so I'm leaving too. I'm like, Miss Monique, okay, mama, get your stuff. Okay, you get your stuff too. She said,
Right.
oh, it's some heels at the door. Okay, what's
As
going
soon
on?
as she walked in, she said, I see some heels at the door.
She said,
Ah!
she said, all right, days up. Okay. That's funny. I was gonna say that. Um, anyway,
Mhm.
so you have anything else to say about Camille and Cornelius?
No,
Or
I
the
don't.
X. Case of the X. Okay. I think we're going to tell you the case of the X. I like this.
Oh
I like
yeah, it is.
it.
Maybe.
With them. So the next one is Phil and his ex with oh no, it wasn't. What was it? I guess that's the next
Yeah.
thing I got on. It was
Mm-hmm.
Phil. Okay, so tell you have anything to say about Phil X with Shiloh and
You
uh
know what? This is for
Taser?
Tish-
Tasha?
Tashaya to TT.
Taser. Ty. God
Um,
dang it.
I feel so non-black right now, acting like I can't pronounce your name. If I can see it, I bet you $100 I can pronounce it. I
I
promise
think it's Tasia.
you. Tasia. First of all, I love Tasia. She was like always my favorite. I don't know why, because it could be because she's thick, the thickest one on there. You know. But I didn't. As soon as she walked in, her vibe was already, she already checked out because things weren't how she thought they would be. So instead of her pivoting and going with the flow, she stayed in that headspace. Like, I don't like this. As soon as she walked in, so that just like brought her energy all the way down. First of all, you mad because you're not sitting next to him? Pull your chair up and sit next to him. Find a way to I mean, not that you have to feel like you competing, but I mean, if you feel like you don't want to sit there, move your seat. But let me tell you, because just like putting beside how she felt, because Tasia was on a date with Shallow, because we know Shallow and Phil talk,
Mm-hmm.
and Phil brought his ex on there. So she felt that she was like, what is it? This
She said that the other woman.
she felt like she was the other woman while Phil and Shallow were together. So she was sitting all in the corner watching them be lovey-dovey. But in the next scene, I loved because it was Sydney, Moomin, Frank, and his ex, right?
Sabrina, right?
No, Moomin,
Oh no
Sydney,
no no.
Frank,
Okay, yeah.
his ex. They
Hmm.
were in there, and Sydney was sitting away from Phil, but she found a way to, scurry over by him, touched his face, and sat right there. So I was like, that's nice.
Yeah, and another thing, Moomin did the same thing with Walter, Sabrina, and his ex when Sabrina left. Moomin said, "Okay, well, guess let me move over where you're sitting, or let me sit next to you,
I like, but
honey. You could have done the same thing."
for Tasia, for her defense, she said she is a straight up tourist in his heart. I mean, she's stubborn. So once her mind is made up about something, so I mean, it's okay.
Yeah, girl, but
But you know what? Speaking of Phil, sorry to cut you off. What you about to say?
oh, go ahead.
Speaking of Phil, we had somebody in the comments said that Phil has fake connections. So I don't know. So what do you think about that? You
Have
think he was
fake connections.
fake, fake connections? Do you think he was really feeling Tasia, or that it was
I
genuine?
think it was I mean, he has a game, but when at the end, after she left or whatever, he said she was a real one. He probably realest ones. I don't know exactly what he meant about that, but
He
he
just
he
missed her.
yeah, I feel like he genuinely had some form of type of connection with her. Maybe it started off with, oh, I'm just going to date around and see because I'm trying to stay in this game. But eventually, he found something that maybe he was intrigued with, but nothing to the point where he won't fight for her and help her keep her staying. Because his right now, he already said his strongest connection is Shiloh, like,
And
but
sorry, go ahead.
he's he's still playing the field or talking to other people or whatever. But I really feel like his heart is right now is with Shiloh.
Mm.
And then I don't even think it's because he really likes her. I think, well, he likes her, but it's more of a shallow. But so I think is that the Shiloh shallow. It's a shallow Shiloh. Um,
Uh,
is
I
I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I agree. I totally agree with that. But I'm just like, dang, but why bring Tasia on the date? You can tell this is probably one of my favorite episodes because this is the most where I have the most to say about it.
Go girl, you got the floor.
Oh, because it was just
It's
more
almost
interesting than
bedtime.
anything else.
And as a disclaimer, because I didn't say, I'm sorry, not to cut you off, but let
Yeah,
you guys know we do our commentary right after the show. So if you see me over here in my about to be
right.
bedtime and everything, I'm sipping my tea so I can go to bed. Uh,
And I'm drinking black coffee because
and this
I'm
is
trying not to
live, not
fall
edited.
asleep. And that's so if you see me making this face, this is black coffee. Gross. But anyway,
Go ahead, continue.
it's not even spike, it's just coffee. Crap, what was I saying? Oh, if he wasn't feeling Tasia like that, why bring her on a group date? And um why not bring Aisha? Aisha wasn't even brought up in this episode. And I thought Aisha and him had the best, well, they were connected. They both from, I mean, they seemed pretty cozy, but he didn't bring her on the date to meet his ex. So I thought that was funny. So maybe production probably did tell him to bring Tasia. I think that was a production move to bring
Mm,
Tasia on that date and to literally make her feel uncomfortable. I don't know.
yeah,
I
that
don't know.
just sound like it was narrated. That's pretty scripted. Because if that's your strongest connection, why won't you let them see your ex so you can find out who is best or whatever they were trying to do with that part? Because I still don't understand that. But yeah, because you notice, what I don't like, because we want more dates on this show. I would like to see more interactions and dating and seeing people actually making a connection and actually
Right.
going on dates and getting to know people. What I'm tired of seeing is the dates of the people just getting eliminated all the time.
Yeah, that's a little predictable. That's
So I already
the
know the people that's getting eliminated. Of course, you have to set the scene and you got to set the episode up because we haven't seen them all episode and it's like, oh, I'm going to vote for. Actually, you can do that. It's your
you
thing.
can if you're constantly telling a story throughout the dating process. You
Yes,
so
if
can do that.
you can do
You can
that.
piece together a good story. So when it does happen, it's like, okay, I can see that.
Yeah, especially if you have a lot of footage because
Yeah,
you're following these people all the time, so you have enough
exactly.
footage.
What are
Go ahead.
y'all literally? What are y'all doing with the footage? Y'all have so much footage.
We
This
seeing
is
it on the reunion.
You
That's what would
see
happen.
all of the behind the scenes. This is never before scenes. Here you go.
You
Why
should
didn't
have
you
seen
show
everything.
this during the episode? Why are you holding it for the reunion? Why?
It's nuts. It's nuts. All right. Anything? I'm sorry. Anything else with Phil?
uh, no.
What I need to say about Phil talking about he got his on again, off again ex. First of all, on again,
Oh
off again.
yeah, yeah. I peeped that.
That
It
means
wasn't a
so
relationship.
y'all just off right now. So that means y'all be on again because you said it's on again, off again. This means it's a continuation.
Oh. Is it me? Am I the drama?
Definitely the drama. It's like that's why she just like, okay, I'm about to see your little
Right, y'all cute
friends.
or whatever for now.
I'm about to see your little friends. But hey, so I'm still meeting you tonight. That's something. That it wasn't a line. It was a real gray area
Yeah,
with
he
that
did
one.
say on again, off again. So y'all off for now. Hmm.
Mhm. He gonna end up marrying that girl.
Skylar asks great questions where in all of her dates. She asks really good questions. But I think that
Who?
shallow, I think that, contributes to her being a what is she? A therapist, a sex therapist.
Intimacy therapist.
Intimacy therapist or coach. All
Okay.
right.
Anything else about them? Moving right along.
Um,
And okay, so Frank and his ex, Leah.
Leah.
So yeah, so Frank he went out with
Mhm.
Sydney and Moomin. So
And
what are your
Frank
thoughts about that?
ex at first when they came on the scene, I said, okay, Frank with the white girl, he had a Becky, and I thought that was significant. It
You
gave me
think
a
so?
little
Is there something
more.
about his character?
It gave me a little bit more idea of who he be rocking with.
He like variety because Moomin and Sydney are totally different.
But that's the thing. I never knew him and Moomin were a thing. I
She,
didn't know until they
I
were.
actually thought him and Aisha was, but okay.
Yeah, so it was just weird. So I don't know, was that a production thing too? Like I don't know. I'm not believing none of these couples right now. Like
He
I,
said he can see both ladies being with for a lifetime. That's what he said.
okay. I can see Moomin because Moomin, she's very motherly, nurturing. She's a whole Sunday school teacher, and I think that's cute.
Mm-hmm.
And I do like Sydney as just as a regular juggler person, but like that girl ain't looking for love. But I was definitely rock with Sydney because the whole time I was like, okay, baby hair. I love her baby's hair. Her baby's hair was just laid. I had to go back
Popping. They
and
were
try to,
popping.
you
Mine
know.
can listen. I gotta get
I was
a 12-year-old can do really good baby hair. I need to get a 12-year-old to do better baby hair.
yes. But anyway, Sydney's she's cool. Moomin, I love Moomin too. I think she's super gorgeous and she looks great on the screen. So I don't know if maybe that's why they brought them together. But I don't know. What did you think about they date though?
I think he's dating the two best people on this show so far. Um, we realize that Frank don't call the booze. He don't call people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because his ex said that, he gives one-on-one attention, like in if you're together, but away from like on the phone, texting, he doesn't do that. So he'll ghost you probably all day, all night. But when you contact him and be like, oh, hey, let's meet up, probably he's giving you all that love and affection. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't he's so maybe his communication sucks. And that's probably true because Sabrina said, well, we've been talking, but I feel like I got to contact you.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious to know if Sydney and Moomin's the only ones that reach out to him, because I don't know how that's going to work if he's trying to build a relationship and you don't contact the people you're trying to build a relationship with.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that's all I had to say about that. Frank is one of those people that you probably see at the club or see at the party. You be like, dang, I ain't heard him talk to him in a long time. And you go ahead and you
This
dance and you
martini.
probably have, he your boyfriend for the day, for the night, and then tomorrow you don't hear from him until the next time you go out.
You don't gotta feel alone.
But anyway, moving on to them. Do you say anything else?
Um, I don't know. Oh, he was sweating. Frank was sweating when the ladies were asking him questions because they was pounding with it. Especially Sydney. She had a whole Rolodex. People don't say Rolodex. She had to scroll through. Show my age. She had to scroll through her phone for them questions. Oh my
Mm-hmm.
goodness, she came prepared. I feel like her friends prepped her and girl, you need to ask her this and then ask.
Yeah.
So I like that.
I think they will probably make the best couple, Sydney and Frank, because they're both surfaced. So,
yeah, they seem the most realistic, actually.
you know, if it's a love story, it ain't a love story, but they the most surface. Anything else for them?
No.
All right. Moving on. All right, Dante and Shiloh and Zadia.
Did we talk about them already? Oh,
No.
my notes. Well, who do
Dante,
you?
aka Mike Tyson. Listen, he got the Mike Tyson talk. He took like Mike Tyson.
I kept trying to figure out because he talks over his lips.
He talk.
I was
He
trying
got a
to.
this. So that's
He has a list.
it's
Okay,
it's,
okay.
it's Dante and Shiloh and Zadia.
I was just staring at his mouth, like, what is happening? And then it covers because the beard kind of cover it up a little bit, but he don't open his mouth all the way when he talk.
Just he talked with his bottom bottom lip. Okay.
Anyway, but I literally just noticed that today, and it was distracting.
This nigga talk like Mike Tyson. All right. So Zadia was off guard. First of all, Zadia was my favorite in the beginning of Ready to Love. Now she has dropped to 0. She is negative. She is rude. She doesn't like
She don't like
women.
women. I swear, I got in my notes. She don't like other women. Listen, she's probably one of those people. Oh, I only got males as friends because women be starting drama.
That's exactly what she's saying.
She seemed like one of them.
I don't know. I'm not rocking with her. Like I used to. Now it's like, girl, what's wrong with you?
And I want to blame maybe she's been. I was like, is she been edited this way? I was like, no, because even what's his name, Dante's ex was like her vibes was off. She even said something like that. So
when she came, when Shiloh came, she was like, "Oh, okay, I didn't know you were coming," or something like that. She said, and it was very rude. Like,
yeah.
oh, okay, you're
She's
here.
like, I'll drink, please. I'll take a drink.
And her body language is off. Like, first of all, you were the first one there, but you sat next to his ex. Why didn't you sit next to Dante?
And get mad when Shiloh come and sit next to Dante.
There was nowhere else to sit.
I don't understand.
Girl, she tripping. In her even her questions, it was look like you were fishing for something wrong with him.
Yeah.
Like when he was talking.
Yeah. She was digging for dirt. Shiloh was
digging for good. She was digging for dirt, and Shiloh was digging for dope. Yeah. It was anything else about them because I didn't like that. They first of all, it was boring, but all Zadia was doing was just being negative and rude. She's rude.
So rude. So nasty.
So rude. So nasty. All I have is production needs to do better with these dates because I didn't even know Zadia and Dante were a thing.
I don't know what happened to Nay. Nah.
Who's that?
Exactly.
Well, no, that is. But Sabrina and Dante was talking last time I saw. They was on a date.
Can we get to Walter?
Sabrina, yeah, that's the next one.
I didn't see. We ain't playing with it to be long. It's too much. It's too much. First of all,
Walter ex Sabrina and Moomin.
Walter's ex came in. Her nails was popping, neon long. And I don't even know if they said that was his ex. Did they?
He said I heard him say he's known her for a very long time.
Right. He didn't say it was his ex. I had a feeling because my first thought was like, this is ex. I don't know, because they ain't hug or just be, I don't know. It just didn't give me ex vibes. You know what I mean?
I
but
don't think it was.
I think it was had to be his sister girl,
His
his sis.
homie that he known for a long time. They probably may have a long, long time ago, probably went out on a group date and was like, and Walter decided, oh, she cool as shit. Get your number, we can rock. Kind of
Yes.
thing.
Yes, because she that's how that's the vibe she gave off. Even with the feedback, her feedback was just it was just too cool with it.
But let's talk about
Okay,
it from the beginning.
go ahead,
So,
go ahead,
mhm.
go ahead.
All right. So, Walter was sitting with his, I forget her name. Her name didn't even come up.
It started with a D.
Okay. So Walter was sitting with her ex. We're gonna call her D, and her nails was Poppington with this nice neon pink. She was giving us all the fashion, and Sabrina came up. Sabrina was looking.
Lashes,
She was doing
gold.
everything. She was
You're gonna
giving.
get this camera time. You're gonna get this camera time, baby.
Yes, y'all gonna find her in IG me. That's what she was saying,
But she
and
probably do nails.
she probably do nails. Hmm.
And I ain't mad at it. Anyway, sorry.
Okay, can I finish?
Yes.
All right. So Sabrina came in and Sabrina was looking fly too, and
Mhm,
Sabrina sat down. Sabrina already seemed guarded already.
she did.
So when she sat down, and I liked when the the ex, okay, she was like, "Do you have any questions for me about Walter?" And Sabrina said, "Anything I need to ask, anything I need to know, Walter will tell me."
Mm,
Basically, she just said, "Bitch, I don't need you to talk to me. I talk to Walter." And
mhm.
she just shut down. Like she didn't even try to
Right.
engage in conversation. It
Yeah.
sounded very distant. Sabrina was also rude. This is my first time seeing her in that element. We got a premonition of it
Because of her friends,
from her
that was in
friends.
my notes. We be here. We be here.
We see each other. I said the same thing. Yeah, I think that's how she is because you the company you keep. Um, so then when Moomin came in, because we didn't see too much because they cut some stuff out, so maybe they were staying longer, but I'm not sure. But when Moomin came in, she automatically looked at her watch, and she looked at her watch. She did the most
Oh, that's
real
yeah, that's real rude.
assholey thing. She looked at her watch. Oh,
Nobody wears
oh,
watches.
I got something to do. You know what I mean?
I have to go style somebody. So
Yeah, something like some bullshit.
that's a plug. I gotta style because I
She
gotta
said I have an event to go to. And she got very short and she left. So Moomin said, okay, well, let me sit by my man. And she got closer.
hmm
And that was and it was Moomin's and Walter date. And it was uphill from it was what you call it? I don't like saying downhill because it sounds like it was bad, but it was
Downhill was
great.
bad.
Oh,
It was on
well,
the up and
it was on the up and up
up.
after that.
Yeah.
She was asking her questions. Moomin, I love Moomin. I don't think her man is here though, but she is great. She is great with him. Both of them look like they have chemistry. But if Walter is for her, I feel like Walter would be best for her because he's older. So that means he also has a little more patience with her, especially with something she's trying to do. And in the long run, if he's really feeling her, then I'm sure that can work out.
Yeah.
But I do like Walter for Moomin and Walter together. What do you think?
I agree. Yep. I do have Walter tried to be slick and get his friend to ask about the sex question because you
Mm-hmm.
know how Newman wants to. She says she wants to wait for marriage or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and the friend asked her about that, and they cut to his confessional. He was like, "Yeah, I told her to ask that." Did you peep
I didn't. I
that?
missed that. Girl, you watched it too many times. I ain't peeped
I
that
told
one.
you I said it 3 times.
Oh, okay. I mean, but then But then but her friend, and I love her friend, his friend, because his friend kept it honest. It was like she's the one. She's better for you. She's safe. And then she was just like, well, she gave off the impression like she just needs something safe. Right now is a no, but in the future. But even if it is, if he's gonna, he has opportunity to either keep pursuing it and wait, or you know, go on and leave a good thing, because she's a good catch.
She
So if
is.
I was Walter, I,
She's
keep it
she's
going.
very sweet. Out of everybody, I mean, some of them do have genuine vibes. She gives off the most like
Hmm.
genuine vibes.
But yeah, I liked his friend, because that wasn't his ex. I like friend. She
Mhm.
gave some good, honest opinions, and she said that Sabrina seemed possessive or controlling.
Yeah,
She said she seems controlling,
yeah,
or
she's
she also sounds like she seemed like she's gonna snap if you
mm,
take her there.
mm-hmm,
I agree.
mm-hmm. And then she also said she's more of your physically like your type.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what we gravitate for beauty wise. She's gorgeous, but her personality stinks. Um, Moving on, Naeem and his ex Zadia. I wrote down
That's so
their
funny.
date was boring.
Don't remember that.
Their date was boring, and the
Oh,
ex
okay.
still wants him.
Oh yeah, she does.
The
She
ex
does.
still wants Naeem. She wants the. She is. She seemed bitter. She seemed like she is still not healed from their relationship.
That's how
It
you know
wasn't.
Naeem for real. Like
It
he's really
wasn't
looking
a.
for love.
I'm sorry. You finished? Talking about
First,
my cut
I
you
was
off. You cut me
complaining
off.
about you cutting me off, and now I'll just say, I'm sorry. Go ahead, sis.
All right. She seemed like I'm gonna say this one thing. I'm gonna let you go. Um, she seemed like she ain't healed from however, whatever, how they broke up.
Right.
It seemed like a date between the ex and him, because
Mm.
she was like, "Oh, you just want ass," or you ain't cuddle me, or it wasn't me." I'm like, okay, this sounds like you need to heal. But yeah, I didn't even see Zadia in this picture. I thought it was a date with him and his ex.
He was on his far left, and then it was them too.
Right. What were your thoughts?
Same,
Hmm.
same, sis. Um, yeah, but the same.
Okay. So yeah. Anyway, the last one was Phil and Sydney's date. We already talked about them. So when the guys meet up, they had a deliberation. Cornelia's still advocating for Camille, and all the guys saying no. But what I like about the guys, they have a nice little bromance, because they like, hey, if dude want them, that's the dude code. Let him have them. Then let him try that out. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it was cool or whatever. So Tasia, well, Phil kept saying Tasia was nervous at the date, but I didn't think she was nervous.
Me
I just
neither.
think she was giving off irritation. She looked
Yeah.
irritated, not nervous.
Mm-mm.
She wasn't nervous.
Yeah,
She
I don't like how he used that word. He said because she's usually more confident. She's a confident woman.
she's very confident.
She was just annoyed.
She's
She
very
liked
annoying.
the situation she was into, and instead of her excusing herself, she decided to stay there and just have an attitude.
Yeah, but I didn't get nervous. He picked the wrong word. So the guys decided that Sabrina and Tasia was going to. They had dates with them, and Sabrina wasn't here for the shits with Frank.
Mm-hmm.
She came shooting.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, they chose Sabrina, and then Tasia had to go home.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
And that's the end of that. Next season, they going on a trip, a vacation.
Yeah. Um, they always do the vacation. I think they should just do the vacation early, and have some exercises, and have the therapist come in and say how they be ready to love and whatnot. That'd be cool. Excuse me. And next week, who do you think is going to go home?
Um, Probably. Sabrina?
I don't know. Looking at the commercial, it looked like
Zadia. Maybe.
Walter, Moomin, they had a little interaction. It might be between Sabrina and Zadia.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Or Camille. But then when Camille go home, Cornelius
That
gonna have
means
to go.
Cornelius got to go home. The
Well, he
only
need to make connections. He tripping. So
is ready
this
to
is
love.
it.
They already found each other. So
Exactly. So they can go home together. Um, anything else? I think that's it.
that's
It's
it.
kind
We're
of
on
went over than what we did. Usually it's 45 minutes.
45 minutes. Oh.
Um, it's been fun and been real. Please leave some comments. We actually enjoy reading you guys' comments and looking at those insights because you know, perspective. This
Right.
is just our opinions. This is what we do. We only see a little snapshot of it. Production does a lot of cutting and editing. Nobody really knows what's going on, but I'm going to take my take of what I see.
Yeah, that's all we're doing. So anyway,
That's it.
that's all. Good night.
All right. Good night. Peace and blessings.